Hey guys, this is Tashina from Logical Harmony. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to be back. And today what I'm going to be showing you is my go-to foundation routine lately. I have two different ones. One is like a dewy and one is a matte. And this is for the more dewy, luminous look. I have made some changes to how I apply my foundation. I found a couple methods and a couple tricks that just work so well with my skin. And I'm really excited about them. I did watch Jaclyn Hill's foundation video and that gave me some ideas. And I was like, I have to try more stuff. There has to be something better for my skin. So if you guys aren't familiar, I do have combination dry skin. It tends to be more on the dry side. And then every time I say I have dry skin, I get an oily patch and it gets really bad. So what I'm doing today is just showing you guys one way I've been doing my foundation lately and really loving. I hope you get some tips from it and enjoy the video. I'm going to start by priming my face, and today I'm going to be using the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen Primer. I do have a full video on this, so if you're curious about it, make sure that you watch that. It's like a demo and review. It's a very interesting primer. So it's your primer, it's your sunscreen, and it also helps to blur out your skin. I really like it. I think it's great if you need SPF in your routine, and especially if you have dry skin, you're really gonna like this one. I'm taking just a small amount, and I'm gonna rub that in all over my face. I will say that when you first apply this primer, it does initially smell a bit like sunscreen, but that disappears very quickly. So if you're not a fan of the sunscreen smell, don't worry, it's not gonna stick around throughout the day. It does initially feel a little bit slinky and a little bit oily, but it absorbs so quickly into your skin that it's also not gonna stay that way throughout the day either. Next, I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm going to be using the Au Naturel Stick Concealer in Buff. This is a really nice creamy concealer. I find that it has nice buildable coverage. It's really good for dry skin types too because it's very nourishing. I think a lot of their cream products are a little bit like skincare in the fact of how they work on your skin. I like to apply this underneath my foundation because personally, I just think that it just blends out a little bit more seamlessly that way. Sometimes I apply it over my foundation. It blends out great that way too, but for this look, I really like it underneath my foundation. So I'm going to blend that out using a damp beauty blender. If you do live in a cooler climate, because it's a cream product, you might want to warm it up a little bit first. And I find just gently rubbing it against your skin and doing it slowly the first couple of times you apply it can really help to warm up the product. Then it goes on very creamy. If you let it sit on your face a little bit, it's just going to get more creamy as it warms up more and more, and that's going to help it blend out even better. Next, I'm going to go in with my foundation, and I'm using Born This Way from Too Faced in the shade Light Beige. So what I'm going to do is take 2 pumps of this foundation on the beauty blender and then dot that all over my face. And I'm really gonna add the most product just where I really want the coverage on my face because I'm going to start blending at the middle of my face and then blend out. This is a really nice medium to full buildable coverage foundation. If you have dry skin, it's definitely gonna be great for you, or if you're someone who likes more of a dewy finish. If you like matte foundation, this probably isn't the one for you, but I do have a foundation video coming up soon showing how I like to apply my matte foundation, so just stay tuned for that one. And the way I've been applying my foundation lately is pretty different than how I've applied it in the past. And one thing that I'm doing is I'm basically just blending so much more. So a lot of foundations, when you initially apply them, it takes them a while to dry down. And what I've been doing that's worked really well for my skin is I just keep blending with the beauty blender until it dries down. And that really helps it get in everywhere and create very even coverage. But I also notice it makes a big difference in how long the coverage lasts as well. Now that I've blended it out pretty well, I'm going to take some of the Smashbox. This is their Photo Finish Primer Water. I'm gonna put that on my beauty blender and just keep blending. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more concealer and just apply it on the darkest spots of my under eyes and blend that out as well. I do find that when you apply concealer underneath your foundation, for me personally, I feel like I use much less product, and I think that really helps it wear better and lay better throughout the day. Okay, so now I am going to set just a couple areas on my face. I do want to do a cream highlight and contour, but I want to make sure that I have a few areas that I'm prone to creasing. I want to make sure I set those sooner than later. So I'm going to take the Illuminating Setting Powder from Cover FX. I'm going to pat my beauty blender into it. So I like to use the pointed tip, and I just use whatever's on the lid. You don't want a lot of product, and I'm just going to press that underneath my eyes, in the middle of my forehead, and on my smile lines, just places where my foundation does tend to crease. And now I'm going to go in with these Wet n Wild contour sticks. This one is Where's Walnut, and the lighter one is Nude for Thought, and I'm going to use these to cream, highlight, and contour my face. So I like to put them both on and then blend them out together. I feel like that creates a more natural, seamless look. And for some areas like under my chin or along my forehead, what I like to do is just dot it on and just do a series of dots. It's easier to blend, and I feel like you're not applying so much product, so it looks more natural. I'm going to put a little bit more of the primer water on my beauty blender and then blend out the cream, highlight, and contour. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to mix the illuminating setting powder from Cover FX with the perfect setting powder. I really like this combination. I feel like you get the benefits of both powders. It makes the foundation last a really long time, and it just looks really nice on the skin. It's not too flat and it's not too glowy. So how I like to do that is I first put my beauty blender into the illuminating setting powder, just get a decent amount, and then I dip it into the perfect setting powder as well. So it's not like a precise mix, it's gonna be a little bit different every time, but that's kind of the beauty of it. And that is the same beauty blender I've been using. It is still damp, and I'm just gonna press that in. Oh, I did not blend that. And this amount will cover about half my face. And I think that's the key, is really pressing it into the skin. It helps hold everything in place, but it's not overly powdery. And I like to start it in my problematic area where I get a lot of pores that show up throughout the day, and then lightly blend it out from there. And just like with the foundation, I like to just blend. I feel like blending a lot just helps it blend. How many times am I gonna say blend? When you do this method, it just helps it to really meld into the foundation, and it creates such a nice finish. And you'll see that it did take some of the glowiness down, but it really just smoothed everything out. So what I'm going to do now is finish up my powder products, so my bronzer, my blush, and my highlight. For those, I'm really excited because I'm going to be using this new set from Furless. It's their collab with It's Likely Makeup. That's Jordy here on YouTube. They're gorgeous brushes. I haven't used them yet, so I'm really excited to use them today. I'm going to use the 100% pure foundation powder in the shade Golden Peach as my bronzer slash contour. I use this so much. I love this stuff so much. And I'm going to use the PR02F brush to apply that as my contour. What I really like about using the powder foundation specifically from 100% pure is they blend out so nicely, but because they're foundations, there's a bigger shade range of them, and there are some slightly different tones. So it really just helps make sure that you get the bronzer that's the right shade for your skin and it matches really well. It's not gonna be too orange or too red. It's just really nice. This brush is so nice. It's so soft. It's dense, but it's fluffy, and I feel like it's doing a really good job with the bronzer. It's just blending it so nicely. Now I am going to take the little it's the Pro 4M, and I'm going to use this to contour my nose using that same bronzer. Moving on to blush, I'm using the Pacifica Blushiest Blush in the shade Camellia. I love this blush. You guys have been seeing me use this for so long. It is such a good blush. It's one of my favorites because it's such a natural looking flush, and I find that it works really well on basically any foundation. I've never had any issues. I've never had any issues with different brushes making it apply patchy or weird or anything. It's just, I love it. I love it so much. And I'm going to be using the Pro 5F brush, which again is very fluffy but also dense. I like these brushes. I have some from Furless that I use quite often. I don't know how often I use them on camera, to be real with you guys, but I really enjoy them. I'm just gonna take a little bit and apply that to my cheeks. I really hope this is picking up on camera how it is in person, because it just looks so seamlessly blended. Everything is laying so nicely on top of one another. Next, I'm going to take the Cover FX Gold Bar Highlighting Palette. I just got this. I've been using it nonstop. It is so pretty. I really love it. I feel like they spent a little more time on the formula than they have with their previous highlighting palette. The one at Holiday, I felt like it was a little more glittery. This one is just very buttery. It's very smooth. It's very shimmery. So I'm going to take this middle shade, which is White Gold. I'm going to use that fan brush, which is the Pro 5M from Furless, obviously. I really like this, how it feels, because again, it's just it's so fluffy, but there's so many bristles in there. So I'm gonna take the shade White Gold and mix it a little bit with the 24K Gold shade. Mostly white gold though. That is very pretty. I will say I don't often use fan brushes because they're so gigantic for the size of my face. But I feel like with this one, because the handle is small, I have more control. I'm gonna mix a little more of those two shades and apply them right above my eyebrows, kind of not on my temples, but just right above, just to give a little bit of sheen there. And now I'm going to take the Pro 2E brush and just take the shade White Gold and put that on the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow. These highlights are so good. So I'm actually going to mist this brush with a little bit of the illuminating setting spray from Cover FX and apply a little more highlight. So just 2 mists, nothing crazy. I'm going with White Gold. And that just really amps that up. I'm actually gonna put some on my collarbones too, because I'm wearing this shirt. As I just applied it straight to the shirt, because I don't have a mirror in front of me that's big enough to see what I'm doing. I give up. Fail at life. So when you're doing this and you are looking in the monitor, it's opposite. So like, this is my left hand, and in the monitor it's on my right. So it gets a little confusing at times. Let's just take this little mirror. All right, better. I'm gonna take the smaller brush. This should not be such a task. Oh, that is so pretty. The formula of these though is just like amazing. Browns things up. And I'm sure by now you're thinking, this is a really long foundation routine. Are you done yet? No, I'm not. But we almost are. So you want to take that damp beauty blender again and go in with more of the primer water from Smashbox. So I'll do like 4 sprays, and then some of the illuminating setting spray from Cover FX as well. So maybe like 3. And then just blend your entire face with this. And I have been really enjoying applying setting sprays this way lately because I feel like it just melds everything together even better. Sometimes I will just spray them on my face and then I go over it with the beauty blender, but I like this method too. I feel like it just really helps to ensure everything is very well blended and very seamless, and it helps it last so much longer throughout the day. And I love the Smashbox primer water so much. When I first got this, I was a little hesitant about it because it was so hyped up on YouTube, so hyped up for so long, but it is amazing. And I really love the Cover FX illuminating setting powder too, because it gives a nice sheen to your face. I feel like the two together are like this amazing combination for glowy skin. I really, really like this combination in specific. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup off camera, and I will be right back. Everything that I use to finish up my makeup will be listed down below, so just check that out. You'll see my eyeshadows, my brow products, my lip products, everything. And that is the finished look. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.